introduction to ServiceNow. The agenda for today's session includes the following topics. So we would go through what is actually ServiceNow, what all services or products does it provide, what are its benefits to the customers, and then we'll have a peek into the ServiceNow architecture. Then we'll see on how to access a free developer instance where you can learn and practice ServiceNow. Then we'll see who are the end users of ServiceNow, and then ServiceNow major releases, who are the customers of ServiceNow, and finally we would see what would be our job as a ServiceNow developer or administrator, and then few links, important links related to ServiceNow. So moving on to the first topic, what is ServiceNow? ServiceNow, it's just the name of a company. ServiceNow is an enterprise cloud company founded by Fred Luddy in 2004. ServiceNow, it's a platform for IT service management. So when I say ITSM, it includes all the IT services that a company provides to its customers. So it would include all the policies and process followed by any organization to deliver their services to customer. So ServiceNow is used to automate all these common IT business processes. That's the main purpose of using ServiceNow. One of the common IT service is the service desk, which all of you might be familiar with. So every organization requires a service desk to help their users and also to meet their communication needs. So that's one example of an IT service. Now ServiceNow, it contains a number of applications. Each IT service would represent an application. Example, Service Desk would be an application in ServiceNow. Incident management, that is another IT service, it would be an application in ServiceNow. So likewise, it contains all the IT services as an application. It also manages diverse IT operations and the organizational functions of a company. And again, you can see ServiceNow is designed based on ITIL framework. So when I say ITIL, it means Information Technology Infrastructure Library. ITIL is a standard. It includes all the best practices and standards required for IT service management. And ServiceNow is designed based on the ITIL framework. So that is another advantage of ServiceNow. Now ServiceNow has a single user interface, and you can access all the IT services at a single URL. It offers a single system of records. That is, like all the data related to your service, it's located in a single system itself. You don't have to work with multiple tools, each supporting its own IT service. It's just a single platform where you can access all the tool and all the data related to your service. So it just gives you a single version of truth through which you reduce your work and also add intelligence to all your processes. Now, again, coming to the ServiceNow cloud models. ServiceNow is located on the cloud. It basically uses the PaaS model, which means platform as a service. It allows you, as a developer, it allows you to build and configure all your services on the cloud itself. You don't require any specific software for this. All the development happens on the cloud. It also provides a SaaS model, which means software as a service. That is, you can access all the IT services on the cloud by just using a web browser. So that's the two different cloud models that ServiceNow supports. Then you can see the other ITSM tools, which are competitors or similar related tools with ServiceNow. Like we have the BMC software, which provides the Remedize ITSM suite. We also have the CA Technologies, which offers different tools for ITSM, like the CA ITAM, the CA PPM, or the Service Desk Manager. We have the HP Service Manager provided by HP, and Jira and Salesforce are a few other competitors with ServiceNow. So this is a brief on what exactly is ServiceNow. Moving on to the next slide, we will see what are the services or what are the applications which ServiceNow provides to the company. We can see that each of these applications are categorized based on its usage. We have some list of management applications, some list of operational applications, then infrastructure application, and also the platform related applications. This is not the entire list, but it contains all the common IT service management process that a company might use. So let's see what each of this, what's the purpose of each of this IT service. Uh, so firstly, we'll go through the management applications. You can see project portfolio. This is used for project management. So basically, if you have some demand, some new requirements coming, some new projects coming, and that is managed using the project portfolio application. Next, you can see you have the ITGRC. ITGRC means it's governance, risk, and compliance. It's used to manage governance policies that a company has. There might be strict and complex industry standards that a company should follow, and these are documented. The policies are documented in the governance application, and it is also used for auditing and for risk management. So that's the purpose of ITGRC. Next, you can see we have the IT cost management. IT cost management is used for tracking and managing the different cost of IT services or business services that a company can provide. That's the purpose of this application. Next one is performance analytics. Performance analytics, it's a powerful data analysis tool. It provides different key performance indicators and metrics, which is used to proactively measure the performance of a company, overall performance of all the business services which a company provides. So it's a powerful data reporting tool that ServiceNow provides. The next one you can see it's vendor performance. So vendor performance is used to manage and track the performance of different vendors. So a company, it might be supported by multiple vendors to provide the IT services. So in order to manage the vendors, this application helps the company. That's the purpose of this specific application. Now coming to the operational applications, there are a list of large number of applications. This is used to run the daily day-to-day activities of the company. So we have the incident management, where the users of a company report and track their issues. If you are having some issue with something, you can use this application to report it. Then you have the change management. So if the company need to perform a change through the infrastructure or anything else, you need to follow the change process. So if you want to restart a server or if you want to upgrade a server, the change management process is required to be followed by the company. So that is the purpose of change application. The next one is the service catalog, which is used for ordering things or for request fulfillment. Suppose you are a company that provides some laptops, you sell laptops, and users need to request laptops. So service catalog is a means of requesting services from the customer. If you can request laptop, you can request for a new badge. All those features are found within the service catalog application. Next, you can see you have the problem application. It is basically used by the IT of a company to analyze the root cause of major issues. So if you have an incident which is having some major root cause, it is analyzed using the problem application. You determine the root cause of the issue or the incident and you fix it permanently. That's the purpose of problem application. Then you have the release management application. Basically, every companies would have release cycles for the application. If you're doing some development, you'll be releasing new features either bi-weekly or monthly basis. So release management is again clubbed with the change management, and it is used to manage all the release cycles that a company or the IT of the company would provide as a service. So that is the purpose of release management. Now next, you have the configuration database or configuration management database, which we call the CMDB. So CMDB, it is actually like a data warehouse. It is a list of all business services, all the assets, all the infrastructure data of a company. All your IT services would be defined in the CMDB. You can also add configurations or attributes to each of your business services. For example, you have a server, all the server details would be recorded in the CMDB. That is the purpose of CMDB. Then you have other applications similar to work management, which is used for field service work management. Then for the resource management, you have another application where you track the utilization of your employees or resources. Then you have an application for password resets and also other HR services. A company might have an HR and they might have different services the HR provide. So the HR service automation helps in resolving all the HR services. That are the operational applications which track the day-to-day activities of a company. Then we have a list of infrastructure applications. So infrastructure basically deals with all the assets, hardwares or softwares which a company has or they procure for their purpose to carry out the business. So first you can see application called as Discovery. Discovery is an important application Servicenow provides. So it's used to discover all the infrastructure items. For example, you have a server on your network. Discovery would scan your network and collect all the details regarding the server, and they would capture this data in the CMDB. So Discovery is related with the CMDB. It automatically scans the networks and gathers all the infrastructure found within the network. It's a powerful tool for populating the CMDB for your company. Then you have asset management, where you would manage the asset of the company or the employees. You might have a laptop or you might have several softwares installed in your laptop. All these are managed. There is a specific life cycle for each of the assets from the procurement to its end of life. All these are managed within the asset application. Then you also have something called as orchestration, which is used to automate server tasks. So if you want to restart a server, you can use the orchestration application to restart it. If you want to set up Exchange, Outlook email accounts, orchestration helps automate this task. Similarly, if you want to set up users in your Active Directory, the AD, the orchestration is a powerful application for this. Okay, so next one is the cloud provisioning, which allows a user to manage external clouds. So if you want to request cloud services from external services like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, all these options, you can have an interface to request the cloud services and to manage it within the Servicenow platform itself. So that is the purpose of cloud provisioning. Apart from this list of applications, the Servicenow platform also provides another list of common applications that would be used by the users. They have listed few applications here. You can see the social IT. It includes chat. You have the chat functionality available within the platform. You have the live feed, where users can post their comments within specific groups. Those features are provided within social IT. Then you can have the reporting feature where you could report on all the data related to these applications. Then you have the survey management, which is used to collect feedback from the users. users. If you have provided some services to user, the survey management help you to collect feedback from users based on several questions that we post to users. Then we have the content management and also the knowledge management. Knowledge management is an important tool. It acts like a KDB. It's a resource of all the company documents. It manages all the company related documentation related to all the applications that the ServiceNow provides. Okay. Knowledge management and also managed documents. Then you have the service level management, which is to maintain the SLAs. So you might have different service level agreements made with the vendors, and SLAs are managed using the service level management application. Another important feature or application that ServiceNow provides is the app creator. So apart from all these applications, the companies, they can also create custom applications which they can use for their own purpose. That is created using the app creator. Then it also provides features like the mobile support. You can create different interfaces for mobile, either for tablet or for mobile apps. Those features are also available within the platform. So this is a basic understanding of all the applications or all the IT services provided by ServiceNow. We can get more detail about all the other list of applications or services in the ServiceNow website. So this are some of the benefits that ServiceNow provides. Okay, now moving on to the next slide, and what are the different importance or advantages or benefits that ServiceNow provides to a company. So once you have set up ServiceNow, all you need is a browser and an internet connection. You can access ServiceNow on a web browser or also on a mobile device. And since ServiceNow is located on the cloud, you don't have to worry anything about the infrastructure, or you don't need to have any specific installers or softwares for the users. The entire infrastructure is hosted and managed by ServiceNow themselves. And the same applies to development also. You can do the development just by using a web browser and with internet connection. You don't need to install any software. That is one of the biggest advantages that ServiceNow provides. Next advantage is cost reduction. It's another major advantage that companies see before they procure ServiceNow platform. So people in the IT industry, they are used with the legacy process, the spreadsheets, emails, and lots of manual work to manage their IT service. So they have also been using different tools for each purpose. So you might have a tool for incident management, you might have another tool for project management, another tool for the infrastructure applications. So with the ServiceNow, it's a way to automate all the tools and bring all of them into a single platform. It helps reduction of cost by reducing the number of tools that a company requires, and also it reduces the manual work by automating all this process within the tool. So it brings lots of cost reduction once a company procures it, and also improves the IT service management process. Now, another benefit is that it stays close to the ITIL best practices and the standard process. So ITIL defines the best practices for IT service management, and ServiceNow is aligned with the ITIL structure. So that is another advantage. The next thing that we have already discussed, it's a single platform where you could access all the IT services within your company. You don't have to use different tools for this. And also it provides a single data model. So when I say single data model, if you go back to the previous slide, you can see all these applications, they're related to each other and also use the common data. For example, you can see vendor performance. Vendor performance requires data from incident, problems, change. So vendor vendors would be usually working on all these three applications, and their performance can be measured based on how they work on incidents, change, or problem. Vendor performance would also require support from the IT cost management, because that would be determining how much cost would the vendor take. And also it would require data from the platform services, like using the social IT, using the survey data, and to see how the vendors have performed on surveys. So all the data is used within the vendor performance, and ServiceNow, it provides a single data model which is shared between the applications. That is another benefit of using ServiceNow. And also, if you are building a new custom application, the same custom application can also use the existing IT data within the ServiceNow interface. So that is another benefit of it. Coming back to the next point, ServiceNow is easily customizable. You can configure it easily. Development is easy with ServiceNow, and also it is an extensible platform. So within the existing functionalities, you can enhance your new functionalities, new features. That is another benefit of using ServiceNow. Coming to the next point about improved operational tracking and efficiency. Now, with all the operational services or the application being captured at a single location, ServiceNow allows you to track your business services efficiently. You can see all the attributes related to your IT service within a single location. So it improves the efficiency and it helps you to manage it easily. And also with the powerful reporting tools like the performance analytics, it allows you to measure the company's performance proactively, thereby improving the business services. So all this are clubbed together, which improves the operational efficiency of the company. Next point is what we have already discussed. We have applications that can be created way beyond the IT service management. So with the custom application development, you can build any other applications that are required in your industry. For example, if you require to build a conference or meeting booking application, that can be done using ServiceNow, or any related applications can be built within the tool. The next thing is that ServiceNow, it provides a highly secure, scalable, and available architecture. The architecture, the infrastructure is maintained by ServiceNow themselves, and they provide a secure platform for all the users. And lastly, it also supports all the modern browsers that we have and also mobile devices. They have also provided mobile apps for Android, iPhones, and BlackBerry phones. These are the UI options that ServiceNow has, and these are the list of few benefits that ServiceNow provides. Coming to the next slide, uh, we'll just do a brief into ServiceNow architecture. ServiceNow is basically a Java-based application. Their instances are hosted on Linux machines in an Apache Tomcat server. They mainly use MySQL database. Also, they use the Oracle database. It depends on the instance, or it depends on the cloud that you select. You can get any of these database. And all this infrastructure at the back end, we don't have to worry anything about it. It's just for the knowledge. This is maintained by ServiceNow themselves. What we would be doing is to manage the front end or the customer side part of it. As a developer, we would configure the services as per client requirements. We also have APIs provided by ServiceNow to do any kind of validations or business logic or database queries. So all the infrastructure is with ServiceNow, and we don't have to worry anything about the architecture main. So this is a brief on the ServiceNow architecture, how the backend of ServiceNow looks like. Coming to the next topic on personal developer instance. So ServiceNow provides free demo instances to all the developers. We can learn and work out any of our requirements on a free personal instance provided by ServiceNow. We will now see on how to request a personal developer instance of your own so we can use it for the development purpose. So let me go to a developer site. We have a ServiceNow developer site that is specifically for all the developers. So let me go to that site once. So you can locate the developer instead as developer.servicenow.com. Within this site, first thing that you need to do is you need to register an account of your own. Once you register your account and you log in, you can see an option called as manage instance. You will have to click on the manage instance option. Since I've already logged in, I've already requested an instance and I have it available for me. But if you're logging for the first time, you would see an option called as request instance over here. Once you click on request instance, it would provide a list of ServiceNow releases that you have. You need to select the latest release, which is called as Kingston. And once you select that release, you process your request on the cloud. And within the cloud itself, they would create an instance for you and provide a URL. Once you get the URL, you will also be provided with a default password. You need to access your URL. First thing you should be doing is to change your password. You'll get an option to change your password, and then you can log into your developer instance. So this is UI for ServiceNow, the platform where you would do the development, as well as the same platform that would be used by the end users. This is the ServiceNow platform. You can see all the applications that we just discussed in the left navigation. You have the incident, management, problem, change, configuration, the catalog. You can see all the user related applications at the top part, all the development related applications at the bottom of the navigation. So we'll do all of this detail in the next sessions. Now coming back to the slide, the next topic that we have is the end users of ServiceNow. So we have mainly three end users. We have the administrators, we have the fulfillers, and we have the requesters. So administrator is what we just saw. We have logged in into the system as admin. Administrator, they can do the development work, they can configure and manage the instance. You can create new functionalities or new custom applications. You can also deploy features that address a new business need. Suppose you do development in a lower environment, you would do the deployment to the production instances. So this is the role of administrator, and they have complete access to all the applications or all the IT services within ServiceNow. The next set of users is the fulfillers. Fulfillers are basically the IT support staff. So every company would have some IT support people who would have the IT knowledge. These are people who would be resolving the issues of users. These are people who will be working the service desk. So they include a list of IT support users, and they manage the IT services. The third type of users that we have, the requesters, or the end users of system. Fulfillers, basically they have an elevated access than the requesters. Since they need to manage this IT services, they have some advanced UIs provided to the fulfillers. So let's see how the interface looks like for a fulfiller. So now I have logged in as an administrator. There is an important feature called as impersonation, which is only available to the admin users. So admin users can impersonate any other users. This is mainly for testing purpose that ServiceNow has provided. You would get exactly the same interface as the other user. So now I'm impersonating as a IT employee. So I have a sample user called as idle user. So this would be the interface that an IT user would get. They have less number of applications, can see only minimal number of applications required to support the IT. Basically, they will be working with the service desk, incident, problem, or change. So they have minimal set of application. The third type of users are the end users or the requesters. They do request IT services, and we often provide a different kind of interface which is very much helpful for them. So if they would be provided a different interface. So this is the interface that the end users might get. It would be too simple. They don't have to worry about the complexity of the UI, which the IT needs to look into. So this is a simple interface. They can just come in, order any hardware, software, anything. They can get help. So if something is broken, they can create an incident. They can ask any queries. They can search the knowledge base for any information. All it would be a simple interface provided to the end user. So this is the view for the end user. Now coming back to the slide. Okay, so we have the third user as requesters. They do request IT services, and any user is a requester. For example, even the IT support staff, they would be requesting IT services for their own need. So they are also requesters, but they do have elevated access than the requesters, which we just showed. So these are the three different end users of ServiceNow. Coming to the next slide is about ServiceNow releases. Now, like every other applications have release cycles, ServiceNow also have release cycles wherein they add new functionalities, new IT services, new features into the platform. So yearly, ServiceNow have two different releases that come in either at the end of December or by May month. So you can see the release names of ServiceNow. They have used a name of famous cities in the world. So the latest release is Kingston that you can access in your developer instance also. Kingston was released in December timeframe, December 2017. And the next expected release is London, which would come in the May month in the future. So you can see all the previous release names. It's based on city names. So if you're working with ServiceNow, you should either go for Kingston or Jakarta, because these two have the latest functionalities, latest IT services that ServiceNow provides. You can see the release cycle of ServiceNow. They have a release, two releases per year. And between the releases, they also make patch releases. Patch release means within the release, you might have some issues that are generated in the tool, and all those issues will be fixed within the patch release. So within major release, if you go for a patch release, you would get the fixes of the specific release. The release management is one of the duty of the ServiceNow system administrator or the developers. So this is about the ServiceNow. Coming to some of the major customers of ServiceNow, this is just a minimal list of customers. You can see Amex, American Express Banking, is major customer, Intel, Cape Gemini, AMD. You can also see Facebook, Twitter, Dell. All these customers are major to ServiceNow. Apart from this, there are a few other customers that I have worked with, like the Delphi manufacturing company is a customer of ServiceNow. General Electric, GE is a customer. Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, they are also customer for ServiceNow. So these are few list of major customers of ServiceNow. Coming to next slide. So what would be our job, what would be our role as a developer within ServiceNow? What would be our duties? Few of the roles has been explained here. Basically, we would be configuring the required IT services as per client requirement. So we have a default process based on ITIL standards provided by ServiceNow. So if you have the incident management application, there is a different process followed by your company And your job would be setting up the incident management application, the forms, the list views, or if you require any client-side validations on the application, or you would be processing any business rules, workflows to handle server-side logic. Basically, if there's a process defined for the company, you will be setting up that process in the tool. Also, you would be setting up access controls on the application to allow a limited users to access based on the company requirements. Also, like configuring emails, SMS to carry out the required work. Another job would be to create new custom applications from the scratch. So with the existing data model, you could build new applications required for the company. Then you would be creating catalog items for request fulfillment. So we just saw about requesting help from the IT services, like you need to require some hardware, you request some software. For all those requesting, you need catalog items which act as a UI for requesting your inventory. So that is the purpose of creating catalog items. So one of the job would be creating catalog items and their workflows. So if you request a laptop, it would have approval process. It need to be approved by probably by the managers, also by the asset team. So all those are carried out in workflows, and that needs to be set up for request fulfillment. The next thing is importing data from external systems. So you might have existing user data, groups, or the CIs and asset data in your company. All those data need to be imported. Data need to be quantified, and also need to worry about the quality of data. So that process is done as part of importing and transforming data. This is one of the another job that you would be doing as a developer. Then you would also set up end user portals to improve the user experience. We just saw a different end user UI for the requesters. Then another important thing is integrations. You might have real-time or scheduled integrations with external systems. The external systems might create requests in ServiceNow, require depending on the need of your customer, you'll have to set up these integrations. Then you would be creating reports, metrics, dashboards, KPIs on this data. Last, you would be managing the releases, update sets, promotion, cloning. All this process are part of developer. So this is a basic set of work that a developer would be doing within ServiceNow. And for more detail, we will be exploring these in the coming sessions that we have. And lastly, I have a few repositories that we will be used to once we start working in ServiceNow. Let's go through a few of these links, and I'll explain what is the purpose of this. The first one is the ServiceNow default website. You can find all the products, all the IT services that are provided by ServiceNow within this documented list. It has the entire list that they provide. So this is their default site where they have different products, the solutions. Also, if any events, any webinars, if they are conducting, you can get those details here. This is ServiceNow default site. Next one is the documentation site. So this is a site where all the information regarding the applications or all the technical details on how to configure are documented. So you can see they have categorized it based on the releases. So the latest release is Kingston, the previous one is Jakarta. So whichever release you are working on, you need to select that release, and you can search anything related to your configuration or documentation within this option. So this is the documentation side. The next one is a developer instance that we just saw. You can manage your instance or reset the password of your instance, etc. with this developer site. The next one we have is the community. The ServiceNow community is a place where all experts and developers work together. If you have any questions, if you have any queries, you can post it here and your queries would be answered by ServiceNow experts. You can also see different blogs written by the expert about different features or different technical aspects of ServiceNow within the community. So community is a good place to explore ServiceNow technically. Next, you have the Hi Service Portal. You would only have access to Hi if you are a customer to ServiceNow. Hi is used to raise issues to ServiceNow. Suppose you're working in the tool and you find that there is some issue on the platform, and you can report that issue in the Hi portal. And only customers of ServiceNow can report those issues. And ServiceNow would be providing assistance to us. Also, if you need to have some server restart or something like that, you need to contact the Hi support. So Hi support is also a similar ServiceNow platform, and support is provided by ServiceNow to their customers. That is the purpose of Hi support. Next one is ServiceNow Store. Store is an important website. So all the ServiceNow developers or customers, they can create new custom applications. The custom applications might be available in the store. They might be free. Some might have some cost or license involved. So if you are a customer, you can download these applications based on its documentation. You have options within the ServiceNow platform where you can select this application and download it. If it is free, you can get it available. If it is licensed, you need to purchase it before you can download. And also, if you are developing a new application, you can load it in the ServiceNow store. There are some approval process within ServiceNow to load your applications here, and you can sell your applications within the store. The store is a place where you add new applications to ServiceNow. And the last link is ServiceNow Share platform. Share is a common free platform available to all users. You can register an account and you can find all the features that all the other developers have created. So you can add new features of your own. It's not application. They are separate functionalities, separate features that developers built, and you can upload it here, and it would be used by the developers. Other companies or other developers use it for their need. So this is a free site. You don't require any licensing here. So this are the different repositories that ServiceNow provides. So that's it regarding session for today.